And now we are continuing with very, very interesting insights. We have quite a lot of touched here during the morning, the importance of private sector involvement. And that is why I'm really happy to have here speakers who will from FT for All projects, and they will talk about how companies are preparing for FT. So I'm very, very happy to introduce here Oguz-Kaan Öztürk, who is project and product manager at ABONA. Please. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's very nice to have you here, both in person as well as online. Firstly, I want to thank the organizers for making it possible that we have such an important meeting at such a beautiful place. And yeah, my name is Oguz-Kaan Öztürk. I'm from ABONA. I would like to start today, let's get the microphones right, start today by showing you a PowerPoint presentation on what we are doing, like our first pilot project that we are doing within this eFTI for All project with our partners, Pioneera and 51Biz. And afterwards, I would like to give you a quick little sneak peek into how what these systems that we are referring to here look like. So let's start. We are considering ourselves with how transports can work both business to business as well as business to authority, business to business connections and business to authority connections, thanks to eFTI within this eFTI for All project. What we are doing within our pilot project is our goal is to transport goods, wares, from Belgium to Germany via road transport. And herefore, we would like to use like Pioneera and their future platform. We will connect that to the ABONA's future platform. So we will have a platform-to-platform connection. And we will also connect to gates. So in this case, the Belgian gate, in our example here, Pioneera will be connected to this Belgian gate. They are already experimenting with connecting to the French gate, for example. So which gate it will be exactly is still flexible. And we are, in this example, connecting to the German gate. We are currently testing with connecting to the Estonian gate from the Logistica and to the Luxembourg gate emulation from 51Biz. How does this transfer process look? How does it work? We have our consignor, our carrier, and our consignee as businesses. So the consignor wants to send goods to the consignee, and the carrier is the one who transports them. So the consignor can use their, for example, the warehouse management system, some existing system to input transport data onto their platform, onto, for example, eVastra from Pioneera. And then they could send over this information as to which goods are supposed to be sent to another platform via this platform-to-platform connection. And then what the ABONA platform could do, for example, or the carrier system, is to edit, for example, which vehicles and which drivers are supposed to drive these goods from point A to B and send this information back to the original platform, to the issuer, to the document issuer. And then the driver gets informed about that. So please go here to the loading zone or to the loading point, pick up the goods, get the signatures. That's probably the most important thing. So sign that you have taken over the goods and let the consignor sign that they have that the goods are correct. And these signatures get then sent to the respective platforms. And of course, this document now gets published to the gate to which the original issue is connected to. In this case, Pioneera's platform to the Belgian gate. And what they send over are the identifiers. So not what is inside this transport, but basically which vehicle is linked to which data set. And then What happens is the truck drives towards the unloading station, towards Germany, and then gets controlled by the Belgian authorities. So what they do is they type in the number plate into their respective authority system. It could be, for example, the one app for authorities from 51 Biz. And then this request gets sent up to the Belgian gate, from the Belgian gate to the platform it's connected to. And then they send over the information that they have on this data set. And the authority can check it. And if everything is all right, they say, all right, drive on. No need to stop you here. Of course, things are fishy. It might go a different way. Now, what happens if the German authority, let's say we cross the border, now the German authority wants to check this truck? What happens then? Who do they contact? The German authority is connected to the German gate. And then the German gate doesn't immediately go to the platform of Belgium, but to the Belgian gate. And the Belgian gate then forwards this request to the future platform because there's no data set on the German gate regarding this. So they ask around, who has something? The Belgian gate says here, we do have something, and this is what we have. And then this gets forwarded to the German authorities. Everything's good, everything's well. The truck can drive on. And then when the truck arrives at the unloading station, they hand over the goods, they get the final signature that the goods have been transported. Basically, the transport process is finished. And then the signatures, they get delivered between the respective parties so that everybody knows this transport process is now finished. Also, the gate gets informed that this is not longer an active transport anymore. So all signatures are here. And then it's done. We're all happy. We can start the invoicing from the business side. And this is the big finale that, of course, businesses are waiting for. So, and this happens immediately. No need to wait. And again, this is what we are working on with our partners Pioneera and with partners 51 Biz. And now, a quick sneak peek into our real systems. Please, everybody, wish us luck that fortune smiles upon us today and no unforeseen errors happen. So, EVA stress system, Pioneera side. You can open here a data set and look here, for example, check out the ECMR. We click here and we can see that we have a transport, for example, from Pioneera in Kapellensrad in Belgium to ABONA, Germany, in Bruchsal, in Germany. And we have pallets and like several goods. You can also see in the respective transport order in ABONA that they have the identical data. So also the free goods from Pioneera to ABONA. And now, this was business to business. It's a little spoiler. Let's do a little authority control. We have a truck, A, B, this one, and we now determine on which gate we want to search. We know it's on the Estonian gate, so no need to check out all the gates. It just takes longer. We search for the identifiers, and see there, we have our main carriage, so the truck in the front and the trailer in the back. We go to data set. We can select, for example, here, and then we can see that our data is also here. And yeah, so much in all shortness to our current state of things. Thank you very much for your attention. Does anybody have questions? Also online?
So we have one question here. How you see the difference between B2B data exchange versus B2A, so for the authorities? What are the differences from your point of view?
I mean, B2B, I would say it's just a different use case. Like the authorities want to know what's inside the truck. But for a business to business use case, you're not too interested in what's in the truck, but more like from when does how much weight go from where to where? And is it, for example, dangerous goods? Is it normal goods? Does it need to be cooled? This is important stuff. And yeah, this is more like, you can also use it via EDI connections. And it's not about, you don't want to control them. You only want to know what should I transport from when, like when, from where to where. Is where I would say it's a business-to-business case. And business authority, they would like to have the data set, the whole thing. Yes. Sorry. Here was another question.
A nice presentation. It's nice to see it's actually coming down to something practical and not only the legal stuff. So really good to see that. I work in a haulers association, so I know how complicated the transport operations can be. So here you have like the consigner, the consignee, the carrier. Often we would also see a freight forwarder. We would maybe also see 2 more carriers because it's maybe they can't do it within the driving and rest times. They need to change, and it's another company taking over the goods. Would that also work within this? So another driver takes over the goods. How do you transfer the data set from one company or from one carrier to the next carrier, or from one driver from the same carrier to another driver from the same carrier?
So to my knowledge, this is something that is yet to be defined, how that should work, how is it is supposed to work. Technologically, you can do everything. From what the paper world gives us as a heritage is, if you go somewhere, exchange of traders, you say, all right, this is my new destination. We create a new new CMR, and basically the destination of the first goods was somewhere at the parking station. Destination of the second paper document start from the parking station. But how we are to do that in this digital world, I think that's yet to be determined.
Hi, Felix Kuhlmann from German Development Corporation, GIZ. Thank you very much. We as GIZ work outside the European Union, for example, in Ukraine, Moldova, Western Balkan countries. And for me, would be interesting, what can we suggest to the companies there, how they should prepare for eFTI? Because for many of them, the European Union market is the most important market.
Sorry, could you please repeat the question? How you want to ask how companies are supposed to prepare if this eFTI regulation?
For companies that are not, like in Ukraine, for example, exporting to the European Union, how could transport or logistics companies there prepare then for eFTI or also for eCMR?
First of all, open your mind to the digital world. That's what I would say. Don't fight digitalization. Don't cling onto paper. Optimize your processes first, and then this whole thing, this is just work. But be ready to change, like be ready for change in the first place. That's what I would recommend. Because even here in Germany, in modern Germany, you have the trouble that some companies just don't want to let go of the old system that works, seemingly, up until now, somewhat. And yeah, be ready for change.
Thank you. It's just a compliment to you and react to your comment first to the lady there. When it comes to the transfer between the platforms, this is outside the scope of the legal framework of the eFTI regulation, because we only focus on information that needs to be shared by the platform to the authorities. So this is up to the basically to the private actors, to the IT service providers, the platforms, how they establish this connectivity. But what is important to know is that what we provide is the standardized data sets, what I described, the consignment movement. So you have all that information in a standardized format that then the platforms can indeed easily transfer from each other. But there is no requirement for automatic transfer. There's just, the signature, and when the signatures for taking over is applied by the subsequent carrier, that consignment movement ends, and then there is no need for that information to be transferred to the next carrier. I mean, from the legal point of view, but obviously it can be organized, and we expect it to be insured. So. You have all freedom to do how you think it's possible, but I understood from you that it's very easy. And also we will have, there is a requirement to have a unique identification for each of these data set linked to a consignment movement, right? What is the consignment is being transported from one place to another. And you can also link, therefore, maybe you can ensure it just by simply sharing the links with that identifier. So, just can import the data if needed, I guess. So, but this is something else that the regulation provides. So everybody will have a unique identification for each data set that is held in eFTI. That's also important. And maybe to add to indeed the very good advice to let go of the old ways and try to go forward to those that are interested outside the EU. Right now, companies that are located outside the EU but are carrying goods within the EU can simply use the services of platforms that are located, certified in the EU. So, and then you can have the same benefits. So there is no restriction when it comes to the, who owns the goods, who transports the goods, in order to be able to use the eFTI platforms. Of course, you cannot use it outside of the EU. That's there is no obligation in Ukraine in this case, right, to accept data that it's held on an eFTI platform in Europe. However, we are very aware that Ukraine has been following the eFTI developments. There is, for a long time, the regulation has been translated. There is also the Commission providing support with the external programs, both to Eastern partners like Ukraine, Moldova, but also in Western Balkans, to actually implement eFTI as well. So that's for you to know. But in the meantime, whenever goods are being carried in the EU, if the information is available on an eFTI platform, that's the way you can do it.
Okay, then thank you very much, everybody.